Hi, my name is Bilal Niazi.
My name is Eden Salvi.
My name is Kaan Husmek.
Samakade Kakembo.
And the date today is
The 24th
of April
2024.
of life.
honestly, ever since I came back from my holiday from Mecca, it was really rough getting back into the routine. I was having a little doubts with myself, but since the last, I'll say 3 weeks, I started to really gain back the momentum that I had before I left.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, damn, I actually forgot that I went to Mecca last year. Yeah, it sounds about right, but I didn't realize it took me that long to start feeling better again. Last year was a really great year for me. This year's been even better. Everything I learned from last year, I took to this year, and so far it's been a really great year. This is the happiest I've been. It's the most I've progressed, and it's only going upwards for me, so I'm very happy. Alhamdulillah.
That's great. Apart from right now, because I'm dieting for a fight.
Yeah.
I have a fight in 3 days, okay? So I'm not very happy, but I am happy because I get to eat very soon. But life is good.
How's life, bro?
Life's amazing. So that was 3 days before a fight. Today is 2 days after a fight. So I'm very happy today.
Life's going well. Life is fruitful, exciting, and planning for what is ahead.
You've planned, and it's always planning ahead. How's life right now? Just finished a fight 2 days ago, or 3 days ago. Shuriken fight series. Actually 4 days ago if we're going by this time. Yeah, I lost the fight, but at this present day right now, 4 days later, after going back to the drawing board and speaking with the coaches, I feel appreciative, very appreciative. Got a call from Mateo as well. Talked to him, and it's gonna start moving in the right direction.
Good, bro. No complaints.
That's life.
Also, no complaints, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah, good. Maybe better. They're definitely better.
How many fights have you had, and what's your current record?
I've had 1 boxing fight and 1 kickboxing fight. Both wins, both by knockout.
2 fights. 1 boxing, 1 kickboxing. How many fights have you had now?
I've had 8 fights.
Oh, let's go.
Had a busy year. Had 6 fights since then. I think I won 2 or 3 by knockout. I won a boxing title, a Victoria boxing title. My last fight, the VAMA title, so the Victorian kickboxing title. So
1 pro fight, and I won that fight. And I've actually got my 2nd pro fight in 3 days. 1-0 as a professional.
What's your record now?
Alright, I'm currently 4 wins, 1 loss as a professional with 2 knockouts.
So you've had 3 fights since this video?
3 fights since the video.
Mashallah.
I've been active.
I've had 15 plus fights, but with MMA in particular, I've had 9 fights. My record for my amateur MMA record is 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. And I am soon to be making my professional MMA debut, inshallah.
Alright. 0-2 professional MMA.
I had 6 professional MMA fights. I think 5 and 1. And amateur, I'm not sure. Amateur about 10, something like that.
So you were 5-1 at that current
Yeah.
time. What's your record now?
Now I'm 6 and 2. So I've had 2 more fights, 2 crackers.
Crackers, explain it.
So one was a title fight, short notice title fight against Abdullah Biaida, 5 rounds, cracker, tough but necessary. And the next one was against Michael Barber, cracker in a different way. Like got to bang a little bit, but there wasn't any real. It didn't feel as threatening as any of my previous fights, but it's a fight. So
What's one thing you wish you told yourself from 1 year ago that you've learnt now?
One, don't rush anything you do. Because like 1 year ago, I was like, let me fight, let me fight, let me fight. I'm really glad I waited till November. That's when I made my debut. I'm really glad because I hadn't matured 1 year ago to fight. I was booked for March, I was booked again for July. Thank God none of them went through because the performance I put on in November compared to what I would have done before then, big difference. Don't miss any sessions. No matter what you're feeling, don't compromise any of your sessions for nobody, no matter what it is. Last, I would say, this might sound a little bit bad, but honestly, it's the only way to get to the top. Always prioritize yourself. Don't worry about going out. Don't worry about doing things that are not directly helping you to get to the top. I was a smart man. Nah, but yeah, I had pretty much everything spot on. The only thing I would say that I've definitely like learned is that the crew you stick around with, the crew that you keep around you, like your people, is very important. It's very important, like who you choose to keep around you, your friends, your close ones, whoever's with you daily. It's very important that they're good for you long term as well, you know. Another thing I say that I've learned, your crowd, your supporters, your friends and family and loved ones that come to watch you fight, it's very important that you keep them very close. You show them their appreciation. You show them how much it means to you that they come to support you?
Something that I would have definitely, I mean, I already thought this a little bit, but it wasn't to the extent that I think it now. I basically would have told myself that like it's not impossible. What you see out there, say you see a world champion, you're like, oh, people forget that those people aren't born like that. You're not born famous like that usually, or you're not born as the best in the world. You can work for it. And as I've continued to, work and perfect what I do and fight and win, I'm starting to realize that if you just keep working hard every day, eventually you can achieve what all these other, people have, exactly, champions have achieved. So that's like one main thing.
To be honest, that's spot on. Like watching that there and thinking about it now, I still feel the same. And I actually feel like now I understand that even more than I did last year, because I've been able to progress more within my career. Now I'm actually starting to see things play out. Like I'm getting closer to my goals, I'm achieving more. So to be honest, like that is still spot on for me. Since that day, I've been working every day pretty much towards what I want to achieve, and the more I do that, the more I can see that, what I want to achieve is very possible.
Aside from that specific thing, is there anything else that you learned?
And it's probably going to sound like cliche, but never give up. Honestly, never give up. No matter how hard anything gets.
That sometimes being too selfish takes away the people that are closest to you and pushes a lot of people away. But to pursue this specific lifestyle, sometimes being selfish is a necessity and needed. It's about trying to perfect that fine line and find balance. You don't want to neglect and not take anyone's considerations that is close to you, but at the same time, you don't want people to control you in every single shape or form. You don't want to get influenced by many directions. Sometimes when you're selfish, you focus on yourself and you become primed and primal in what you're trying to achieve and do. But make time for the small things. Don't be so fixated on the come up and the process of it all. Remember to enjoy the fruits of your labor and enjoy times with your family in particular, or friends. Good that you're pursuing this lifestyle and you're not getting distracted as much, but just remember it's okay to be a human, and every now and then take a day off or a time off to spend it with your loved ones.
Okay, so I have done that, but I have gotten very selfish in the mind. So we just went back to the drawing board and analysed a few things, and one area is I've thought my opinion was better than my own coaches. So present day Kaan is a lot more appreciative that they still stuck around even though I had that type of mindset, and we are working on it and we will work on it and we will fix it, and whatever they say goes now. In terms of treatment of people, I've actually done a lot more better in terms of giving people my time a lot more, especially after a tragic event of one of my young brothers, Bilal Wahidi. For that thing that happens, definitely made me focus on giving people more time, even if it's just an extra 5 minutes, and just not being afraid to talk, us guys and us men especially, but ending it on a positive every single time, being super positive, caring, like loving messages.
I have 1 year from now is to be the best mixed martial artist in Australia at 145 pounds featherweight.
Do you feel like you've achieved that goal?
No.
Okay.
No.
Elaborate.
Well, I still feel very capable of that, but I have to go off results. And I go, okay, right now, well, to be honest, right now, I hate to say it, but I do feel that way. I feel, 100% like the best mixed martial artist in Australia at this weight. Well, I just need to test it out and get the results to back it.
Would you say you are rich?
It depends on what way you look at it. This is gonna sound like a little bit of a generic answer, but I feel really rich. I'll tell you why. Maybe I don't have the most money in the world right now, but at the same time, I have everything I want. So it makes me feel rich. I have a car, I'm living life, I'm living at home, I have my family, I have my team. I get to go training whenever I please. I have a perfect routine set up for me at the moment. I got my PS5. I got a beautiful room that I can go back to every night and get a good night's sleep. So I feel rich, but in terms of actual like money, not so much. So in other people's eyes, they might not think I'm rich.
But it sounds like you listed a few things that you're grateful about.
Yeah. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Still feel the same way. If anything, I feel richer because I realize how strong my crew is, my mom, my family, everyone I have with me, like my girlfriend, and they're there for me like all the time. Every sparring session, have somebody giving me water, someone like, wiping me down. I couldn't tell you that like I'm poor at all. I feel extremely rich, yeah.
Rich in, I feel like, happiness. I'm very happy. honestly. Every day I really enjoy my life. Financially, not so much yet. Yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Overall life, I would say I'm rich. So I love my life.
Are you rich?
Similar to last year, in terms of life, memories, happiness, friendships, relationships, I am rich. Financially, not as broke as last year, so that's good. So that's financially a little bit better, but in terms of overall life, I am very rich and very happy.
I definitely would say I'm not rich, but I wouldn't say that I'm rich, and I don't want to be famous. I want to be successful. With successfulness comes happiness. With happiness comes peace. And I do have a lot of great people around me. So at this current point, I'd say I'm not rich from a financial standpoint, but I'm very grateful with what I have, and I don't need a lot.
Brother, I am not rich at all. I am more plummeted, especially right now. But that stuff will come.
Rich? No. Financially? Look, if I take it financially, no, I'm not rich. But yeah, if you want to get deep about it, you know, in other areas, in other parts of life, I know that abundant, you know, the faith, the immunity, the strength, yeah, in those areas, yeah. Yeah, wow. So my answer will be the same. Yeah.
Same thing, that's fine, bro.
Yeah, it will be the same there. Like, so rich in family, friends, community, and more so now within, in my own self. Just feel a lot more comfortable being myself and learning how to be very present and in the moment.
All you have 1 year from now.
I want to look back 1 year from now and know that I didn't cut any corners. Because the worst feeling, honestly, that I have now is when I look back and I like realize that, damn, I missed like so many sessions for such stupid reasons. And then you look back at the end of the year, you're like I wasted so much time doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So I want to look back, and especially at this age, I want to look back and be like, I actually spent my time productively. That's also my biggest fear, not being productive enough. Not about the fights. The fights come and go, you know, it's not the most important thing. You're gonna get fights, you're gonna get pullouts. I'm not thinking too much about the fights. Also, the more you think about fights, I feel like the more draining it gets. That's what I realized with myself. The more I started like spending my time thinking about future fights and things like that, you just drain yourself.
Question was one thing, but you ended up listing 3 things.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on that? Did you accomplish that?
Yeah, I'll say I did. I spent my time very productively, I'll say. Even when I got injured, my coach kept me very busy. I did some things that really changed my life.
Okay, do you mind listing and sharing? Or if you want to keep it personally, you can keep it personally.
No, I played a few different games. So I played Red Dead 2, I played Last of Us,
No shit.
both of them. I played Red Dead 1, and every single game that I played, every movie I watched, you gotta play them with, like, your mind has to be like
Gotta be
in it
invested.
as well, yeah. And I feel like that's the way I played it, and that's the way I watched those movies. And every movie or every game that I played, I leveled up mentally and I changed as a person. Became more alpha, know how to deal with certain situations better, know how to speak like in any way that I need to.
A year from now, I want to be some sort of professional champion in K1.
Wow. Let me show you.
No shit.
2 days ago, I did that. It was a Friday, today's Sunday. 2 days ago, I achieved that goal. Got the WKF state title. So that is check. I'm happy with that.
How does it feel that you manifested that and you achieved it?
Feels good. It's a long time coming, but I knew I could do it. And when the opportunity presented itself, I took it, embraced it with open arms, and worked my ass off, and here we are. So
A goal I have 1 year from now is to go on my 3-fight stint. So August 18th, I want to fight for Hex, my professional debut at lightweight. Then September, fight on Eternal, probably at welterweight. And then November 18th, I want to fight for Hex again. That'll be 3 fights. Inshallah, 3 wins. Inshallah, 3 dominating wins, either by submission, knockout, TKO, but devastating finishes. And then from there, fight on an international promotion the year after, whether it's UAE Warriors, Brave would be phenomenal. Yeah, that's the main goal that I have right now.
Alright, so you did make your international debut 4 days ago. You did, well, scheduled to have 3 fights. I had the one against Harry, which I got knocked out in. Yes. Even though I did manifest the knockout, I was the one that received it. Second fight, I'm not going to bring too much light to that, but that got cancelled. And then the one I just had 4 days ago. So you did have your 3-fight thing. It didn't play out the way that you said it was going to play out, but I'm glad I got to have those 3 fights, but I definitely want to be way more active this year. Got to get back to my 2022 ways as an active competitor.
I have 1 year from now is to be the best mixed martial artist in Australia at 145 pounds, by the way.
You feel like you've achieved that goal?
No.
Elaborate.
I still feel very capable of that, but I have to go off results. And I go, okay, well, to be honest, right now, I hate to say it, but I do feel that way. I feel, yeah, 100% like the best mixed martial artist in Australia at this weight. Well, I just need to test it out and get the results to back it.
You get recognized when you're out?
By people that I know, yeah. By people that I don't, not really. Still a nobody.
Remember, this is going to be 1 year from now, so we'll see how that answer changes.
Has it changed?
Actually, like a little bit.
No shit.
Yeah, a little
Tell me.
bit. Like a tiny bit, yeah. I was with my cousin recently, and one of his friends he came as well, and then I didn't know who he was. He's like to me, he's like to Jamal, he's like, oh, is that your boxer cousin?
Oh.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit, like, recognized a little bit, and definitely because my last win popped off quite a bit. Like the Vama page, my coach got us a professional photographer for after the fight, so we got some mad photos, and then after they posted that, a lot of people saw those photos. Like, I got the most likes I've ever gotten on social media. I'm still a nobody, for sure.
But you're getting recognised a little bit.
But less of a nobody than last year.
Not yet. Depends what. Yeah, exactly. Not yet. But depends where you are though. If you go to obviously if you go to a fight show or something, yes. But if you're just out normally, no. Unless we're at Fountain Gate or something, then.
Has that changed?
To be honest, it's very similar to last year still. If I'm at a fight show, at fight shows and stuff like that, yeah, more people recognize me. Especially at the pro events. Back then, I was a fresh pro, so the people that go to those events didn't really know me. But now when I go to those events, people recognize me a lot more, and my performances have, stood out a lot more. So yes, at the events and stuff, I get recognized a lot more. And obviously, like I said, they're Fountain Gate and stuff, yes, because it's local.
I actually do get recognized. I get recognized for my YouTubing most and foremost. It's kind of crazy. This year is the first year that I started to get recognized. Just like actually 3/4 of the way through, or halfway through last year, is when I started to get recognized when I'm out and about. People recognize me and say, oh, you're Kaan Husmek. So it's cool. It's cool, it's different, but let's see what the future holds. Let's see how much more impactful I'll be able to be on people's lives and allow them to be a part of my journey. It's an interesting dynamic because people feel so attached to me because they see me through a screen, but I don't know who the hell these people are sometimes. They come up to me because they feel that connection, they feel that relationship, whereas me, it's the first time for me meeting them, but I make sure to do my best to convey my gratefulness and appreciation for them supporting me and have that relatability with them in terms of as if I actually do know the person, but I do get recognized.
Yep, exact same thing. I try to convey the exact same message, making sure that I give my time and energy, and I still do get recognized.
No, not by people I don't know. No, like randomly, there's like small, the small communities we're in. Every now and then, someone will mention you or bring you up. You don't know who they are, and yeah, randomly, whether it's at the gym community or family friends community or other communities, it's like not often.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine. What's your thoughts on the MMA fight scene right now, or fight scene in general?
In terms of Melbourne amateur, I feel like it's booming. It's like the biggest it's ever been, and it's only growing.
Same?
Yeah.
Or even better?
Even better than last year. It's popped off more. My teammate, Aaron Selvey, he's popping off.
I feel like it's never been as, big as it is right now in Australia, especially Melbourne. I swear every weekend there's, a grappling comp or an MMA show, kickboxing show, amateur, pro. So I feel like right now it's definitely heading in the right direction, and it's just going to continue to grow. Like, we're seeing so many up and comers make it to the big stages now, whether UFC, ONE, all those promotions.
Same as last year. The scene, the fight scene in general is popping off. Boxing, kickboxing, MMA, and grappling. Every single form of fighting is popping off, and it continues to grow. Not only in Melbourne but in Australia. But Melbourne's doing a very good job right now. I feel like Melbourne's like the capital of fighting right now.
The MMA and fight scene right at this particular point is booming. It's flourished more than ever before, and people are getting into it with not only just the MMA but the YouTube boxing type of things, and the new generation youth are really picking up on it. And it's cool to see, man. Back in the days of like Jake Matthews and all the other individuals, they had a much harder time pursuing this lifestyle, pursuing this sport. And even for an art like jiu-jitsu, people are able to create like a full proper lifestyle out of it. Not to say that it's up to the standards of boxing and MMA, but it's cool to see where the sport's at right now and how individuals can actually pursue it as a full career.
Exact same thing, but I'd say it's just boomed even more. Just every single time or every single year, I guess, it's just getting more popular and bigger, and it's really good to see that.
Right now it's in a interesting boom. There's exposure that's booming, but skill is also booming. The young cunts coming through, they have access to a lot of information that's been tested. There's a lot that you have to figure out, but let's say everyone knows certain positions are key. People are starting off there, they understand systems, so it's leveling up, it's getting to a point where it's fun to watch. As a passion, you know, someone that loves a sport, you go, this is cool, man, this thing's growing. Like, it's cool actually seeing it develop from grassroots when you first started to where it's at now. You go, oh, okay, this thing's crazy, this thing's actually leveling up. Still have the, like, similar thoughts, you know, exactly what was said there. Yeah, it's good, man, it's good, it's good. It's like
How do you feel like, I feel like right now, especially at the pro level, not just you, with a lot of fighters, there's a lot of like picking and choosing with a lot of things. What's your thoughts on that?
Makes sense, you know, at the end of the day people make choices. So some people are more strategic, they'll make more strategic choices. Other people choose to go about it a different way. I find a lot of the times it's a mix of both. You either are strategic or so you just go with feel and opportunity. Yeah, I don't shit on it. I don't shit on the picking and choosing. Everyone can go about it in their own way. For sure, you're going to have to fight the toughest guys if your goals are high in this sport. So at some point, the picking and choosing is not going to stick around.
What's one place you'd like to visit?
Oh, Mecca.
There we go. That's what I was trying to get.
That's the holy grail for Muslims. That's somewhere that every Muslim needs to visit at least once in their lifetime. I had the chance to visit it and I went. It was a very beautiful place. I went during the most packed time in the year, so it was like very crowded. I got it like really sick when I was there as well, so it kind of took away from my experience, but it was still very fulfilling spiritually. I really like Melbourne a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Why?
I don't know, just like you feel like this is home. You're gonna love wherever's home, and Melbourne feels like home for me. Probably Japan.
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely want to go to Japan. There's a few of my idols live in Japan, and
List one.
Masato.
Okay.
100%. I've been watching his fights a lot.
Are we manifesting you meeting him one day?
If it happens, it happens. I'll be. I don't know what I'll say. Probably wouldn't be able to speak if I saw him.
So not necessarily a place. You want to meet the guy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Meet the guy, but he's in Japan. But also, Japan, bro, it's such a crazy place, bro. Like,
Okay.
so advanced, so beautiful, so clean. They've got a lot of things I would want to go see.
Japan.
I knew it.
Straight up.
Is it still the same thing?
Yeah, I still want to go to Japan. Straight up, I want to go to Japan still. That's definitely somewhere I want to go.
One place I'd like to visit is the Northern Lights, Maldives, but that's more of a future thing. But I'd love to one day see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, same thing. I'd like to really go see the Northern Lights, but I did get to go to America, and I did a solo trip. So that was really cool. I didn't mention it here in terms of America being a bucket list thing, but that was a phenomenal experience that I got to do and got to have. And also went to Singapore. So I've been to Northern Lights, but I definitely experienced something very cool this year.
Egypt.
Ooh, what's that?
Bro,
Always called you, just always had
yeah, the history there, ridiculous.
Fair enough, like the pyramids and stuff. Eh?
Bro, that thing's older than anything that you and I can.
Same thing, Egypt, or has it changed?
Egypt, Brazil is competing with it somehow.
Oh, okay, we got a new one.
Yeah,
Let's
Brazil,
go.
Brazil would be, you know, beautiful.
Where'd that come from? Why Brazil?
It was an option on the table. A couple of friends of mine, or a very good friend of mine, Matt, went to Brazil, and the invite was there to go with him. So since then, when I started looking around and looking into it, I'm like, well, one, it can be mad for training, so the skill development can be there.
Porra, a lot of fucking guard fooling, bro.
And there can be good. It's good to get different looks, but also something about the tropical situation there. The Amazon.
Hey.
Mad, yeah. I would like
Favelas? Would you go to the favelas,
yeah, I would pop in just to say what's up.
Current relationship status?
Yeah, it's going really good. Going really well. You know, I found someone that, you know, I really enjoy spending my time with, and yeah.
Voila! Current relationship status.
Oh, such a funny guy, but look, I like to keep those things like as private as possible. But yeah, just elaborating on from there, it's amazing. It's great. It's gotten even better than last year, and you know, it's really, really starting to like connect with that person like this. And
Is it the same person?
same person,
Okay.
same person, and it's like it's quite amazing. It's something special.
Anna, her name is Emily Sullivan, and I love her. Make sure you put that part in.
I am still in my relationship with Emily, and I still love you.
Hey!
So my relationship status is still single.
How happy are you out of 10 at this current moment you're in right now?
Well, I'm smiling really hard, so I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy right now.
Rate it, what number?
Solid 8.
1 out of 10.
A 10? If you want to put on like a baseline, a 10 is when I won my fight, my last fight. That's a 10.
Do you reckon you were bullshitting there? Was that honest truth? 8 out of 10.
I was very happy. You can see it in my face.
Okay.
You can see it in my face how happy I was. How happy am I now? I have so much to be grateful for, so there's nothing to be unhappy about. And I am very happy. I trained today in the morning, so I got a bit of a dopamine high. I'm here with one of my mates.
Yeah.
Recording a nice video. Reminiscing, you know, so it's nice. I'm very happy right now.
Right now, as I sit here, I would say 7, only because I'm on my weight cut. If I wasn't on that, I'd be a 10 out of 10 right now.
Legit?
Yeah, straight up. Because I got nothing to complain about. I'm healthy. I do what I love every day. I have people around me that love me and support me, so I'm happy.
So you're not weight cutting right now?
Yeah, life is good right now. We are actually gonna go get an all-you-can-eat feed after this, so my happiness is through the roof. But in general though, honestly, same as last year. I'm healthy, I'm happy, I have people around me who love me, so I'm still very happy. So I mean, I'd say 10.
I'd say a 6 to 7, 6.5. Why? Because I really want to make it. I really want to make something of myself, and I'm in the process. Don't get me wrong, I am happy, but I'm trying to put forth what I'm trying to achieve a little bit ahead of my happiness. I'm making sure as best I can to enjoy the process and the journey and smell the fruits of my labor and smell the roses throughout it all, but I'm really trying to make a push to make something special of myself, and I really want to become successful in life, in business. And I want to make sure that I've got many avenues that I can dip into in terms of career-wise, whether it's the YouTubing, content creation, the fighting. I want to make sure that I can provide a very good lifestyle for my parents, repay it, even though I can never, but repay it in any way, shape or form. And to just show people that I can make it from a little kid from Melbourne, southeast suburbs, can truly make it and make something of himself and provide that possibility and hopefully impact people's lives from it.
Alright, I rambled on a lot there. I didn't even answer the question. There, I'd say I was at a 7. Now, I'm at a 5 or a 5.5. But on an upward trajectory because of what me and my coaches were able to discuss once we've gone back to the drawing board. But and I'm going to aim to get back up to an 8 by next year. So that's my goal for next year.
I'd say 8.
1 out of 10.
Because 10, I don't really know how to peak happiness. You know, what's peak happiness? 10 out of 10 happiness, what is that? I don't really know what that is. Is that a thing? Like, that's probably more just emotion, endorphins, other shit's going on. That's like, wow, peak happiness, you know?
What's your thoughts on that?
I understand what I'm saying. 8 out of 10. I'm looking at it now and I'm going, yeah, it's like very practical, you know, my answer. It's like, I'm looking at happiness and I'm comparing it to what I knew of happiness at the time, which is like, is it just a mental state? But I'm also bringing in the fact that there's physiological shit going on there. Now I would say 10 out of 10. Am I happy all the time? No, I'm not happy all the time. But to me, I'm interpreting the question now more of where are you at? Are you okay in the moment? And I am okay in the moment, you know, whatever it is. I'm a lot, if I had to say, I guess happy, you know, yeah, that would be the answer for a lot of time.
Do you reckon your answer was bullshit back then? Or do you reckon you were an 8 in that present moment?
Yeah, I reckon I was an 8 in that present moment.
What got you to a 10?
I'm more content, bro. Like, and I'm also, I guess I'm in good environments as well. So I'm in environments that don't cause me to be out of balance too much. Long story short, they're positive, and I'm spending more time with myself, and I have good company, good people I've run into. So,
Sick.
family as well. A lot of time traveling with them in the last year.
Yeah, I see with those stories, you're with your brother and all, and then I see you're grounding your feet in nature in your mornings when you're drinking your tea and all.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to see.
man.
What's the most important thing to you right now?
That's a really good question. Now you got me thinking. As of this moment right now, finishing that 10 litre bottle. Finishing that 10 litre bottle is the most important thing to me.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. That's a good answer. Your most important thing, I think
It
weight cutting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, finishing that bottle.
Or fight week, sorry, weighting.
The most important thing to me right now, I'll say, is keeping my routine very strong. Sleeping well, eating well, and just with my training routine, just keeping it nice and straight.
I wouldn't say I have a most important thing to me right now, but I have a few things that are important.
Can you list a few?
All the people that are close to me, they're very important to me. People that I love and care about. Fighting, that runs through my head all the time. Being healthy and happy, those are like the main things right now.
There's a lot of things in terms of health and stuff that have been like people that I know and that I love that have been struggling. So that's like the most important thing to me right now, is to, one, be grateful for what you have, and two, your health. That is like, and those who you care about and love, for them to be healthy, that's still like my number one, because your health is your wealth. Without that, it doesn't matter what you have, how much money you have and stuff like that. Your health is just most important right now.
The most important thing to me right now is to grow my name more and do more things with the YouTubing and the fighting.
What's the most important thing to me right now? Definitely not that. I definitely took a step back from the YouTubing, and now it's about leveling up here. The fighting I've been trying to go hard with as well, but especially in the lead up to this next fight and from now, I really want to work on fortifying my minds and becoming a lot more happier outside of fighting, and enjoying the process and the journey inside of fighting a lot more. Going back to that challenger mindset and that hungry young Kaan that wanted to challenge himself all the time.
My family, faith, and my development as an individual. Still all very important. What's the most important thing to me right now? It's changed. My answer is going to change. I'm going to say one thing. All those things are still important to me.
Yep.
It's being present and just being. 100%. Just being. Just existing. I sound like a tripper, but just being present and just being is the most important thing to me, because when I am just there, I'm where I need to be for myself, for my goals, for my family, for my faith, for my development journey, for all the things I can mention, have mentioned. When I'm just in the moment, when I'm present, when I'm just being, I am bringing the best to whatever it is I'm doing.
I'm just going to add one more question on, how do you focus on being? How do you focus on being present?
Meditation as a practice is like training you train to get good. I meditate to be in contact with the present moment as much as I can. And like training, it's not always easy. Sometimes it feels like a waste, sometimes you tap right in. So that's the tool. Other than that, it's just giving myself a reminder every now and then, ask myself, what is my relationship like to the present moment right now?
What constructive criticism would you give yourself right now?
Okay, there's some times where I know myself I'm being really weak and I'm being a sissy. What I tell myself is, in those times, don't worry about your physical well-being. Don't worry about how you're feeling mentally. You just do it. Be a robot. Get it over and done with, and at the end, you know yourself. Because I know myself in my heart, when I get the job done, no matter how I'm feeling in that moment, whether if I'm tired, whether I don't want to get it done, when I get it done, I know I'll be really happy. So what constructive criticism I would give myself is, no matter how you're feeling, if you got a job to do, get it done. What I'll say with that is, I definitely I've mastered that a bit better.
Okay.
Haven't hit the pinnacle, but I've definitely gotten better at that. If mentally, like I'm feeling, at training, mentally I'm feeling a bit tired, a bit weak, I can definitely switch on the robot mode.
Before you elaborate, how do you switch it?
What is it for you? Start training. As soon as I start hitting the pads, or as soon as I start thinking it, instead of going gear 1, I just go straight to gear 4, gear 5. Start going hard straight away, and then because you're going so hard, you forget that you're sore, you forget that you're tired, and you're just focusing on finishing the round, but keeping it as high, like keeping the intensity high, keeping the technique high. My coach is there watching, so there's an expectation when he's watching. The expectation is very high, and there's no mucking about.
What about now? Do you have any constructive criticisms?
There's always criticism. It just depends on the day.
Give me one. What are you feeling right now?
Definitely.
You said that there were so many. That's why I'm like, just give me one.
It depends on the day. Like whatever. Say you.
What are you feeling today?
What could I fix today? I had a really good sparring session. So
okay, but there's no criticism there. What about yesterday?
Yesterday. Yes.
The day before.
Really good day yesterday as well.
Fuck, bro. Life's going good, bro.
For sure. No, I went hard. That's why I didn't let myself down.
Brace and like seek out opportunities more. Sometimes I wait too much for things to come to me instead of putting myself out there. Like for example, that's what you've been doing. You've been putting yourself out there a lot. You've been putting yourself out there a lot as of recent, like the last, I don't know, year or two, which is like what you need to do to get your name out there. And I feel like sometimes I wait too much for things to come to me. Not even just like in terms of getting my name out there for fighting. I mean, just in general life. I feel like I wait too much sometimes instead of putting myself in the position to, you know, achieve what I want to achieve or do what I want to do. That's like one big criticism that I have for myself.
Do you feel like you've been able to fix that?
I feel like I've gotten better at that, to be honest, over the last year. I feel like I put myself out there more. But another thing that I would say, I feel like I need to listen to people more. Sometimes I feel like I don't listen or take other people's feelings and stuff into consideration as much.
Constructive criticism I give myself is to try and hold my weight lower. I'm getting too excited with the food. If I want to become more professional and fight at the lightweight, I got to be more disciplined. I must, out of camp, walk around 84. In camp, walk around 81, 82. Reach a week or two before fight week, walk around 77, and then make lightweight. So, constructive criticism right now, get your food and dietary stuff in order, Kaan. You're too fat. You're too fat and too big. You're undersized at welterweight. But if you want to pursue this lifestyle from a fighter perspective and you want to become very successful at it, I need you to get your food and structure in order. And stop speeding. Stop speeding. You're receiving too many speeding fines.
Okay, so in terms of the fines, speeding fines, I have been able to control. I have not received any demerit points on that end. Fuck yeah. But parking fines at Absolute Collingwood, bro, I've received so many. I'm sick of it. That's the only thing, parking fines, I'd say. Constructive criticism in terms of the food. I've been able to control my food, my relationship with food a lot more. Seeing a psychologist, she gave me the tools to help me out with that. And I feel like I'm doing really, really well with that. The only reason why I look a bit puffy is from the fight, and I have been eating a little bit out of that, not restriction, but controlled. So I've been getting a bit too excited. But I aim to get back on structure in the next couple of days. So the one that I would give myself now is to, in the fight or when I compete, you gotta not feel sorry for the person, and you gotta, if you're gonna say you're gonna do something, you gotta do it. Don't change your mind in the fight, even though there's many things that can happen in a fight, you know. Everyone's different.
Get your sleep right. Get your sleep right. Just sleep early, actually. That's a clear one. Sleep earlier. Don't forget about the mind, about meditation, cultivating the space that will let you perform in whatever else it is that you want to do, whether it's martial arts, business, life, whatever. So do not forget about that. Fix your habits, you know. That's it, I'll say that.
So to me, it sounds like you fixed one of them.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, good on you, bro.
So,
what's your thoughts on the other two then? Have you been able to catch up on sleep?
Yeah, my sleep has improved.
Okay, let's
my
go.
sleep has improved, and that's very recent though. So, but overall, it's much better than what it was, man. It was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., sometimes worse, sometimes better, but like very sporadic what the times were, you know. The only thing I knew is that I wouldn't be getting enough sleep. Now I'm getting enough sleep, which is mad. Habits, yeah, I've improved in some ways, but I always set a higher standard. Like, I'll go, for example, caffeine. It's like, damn, I have too much caffeine, you know, or smoking weed. It's like, damn, you know, that's, if I smoked back then, it would feel like I would love it. At the same time, I'd feel like a completely wasted time. Now it's definitely not the case, you know. I'm not dependent on, I wouldn't say I'm dependent on anything other than just fresh air, bro.
Oh yeah, bro, grounding your feet in nature as well.
Yeah.
Alright, one more thing I'm gonna get you to...
The nicotine pouches have come into play.
Oh
recently.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, has that helped you?
It has helped, but I just make sure on sparring day I won't, you know, I like to have everything on sparring day the exact same that I'll have it on fight day.
Yeah. Now last thing, then we're done. I don't want you to look at me when you answer this, I want you to look into the camera. What's one thing you would have liked to accomplish by next year? You're talking to your future self here.
100%. By next year, by 12 months from now, I want to have wiped out the amateur scene in boxing and wiped out the amateur scene in kickboxing. And if the time's right and my coach says so, then is the time for me to go pro. But definitely the biggest thing I would want done is I want to wipe out the amateur boxing and the amateur kickboxing scene by 12 months from now.
All right. By next year, right now, what I want to accomplish is I want to have an Australian title under my name.
But one goal I want by next year. I'm 0-2 right now. By next year, I want you on a positive. You got to be at least 3-2. At least 3-2. I want upwards positive. Yeah. I don't want a plateau neutral record. I don't want 2-2. If you go 0-3, I'm gonna be pretty upset, but it's not the end of the world, and you never give up no matter what. But anything above 3 wins, I'm happy. Let's get back on the positive. Let's get back on the grind, Kaan.
Sam, it would be good if by this time next year you are signed to the UFC or on a show, contender. Yeah, signed to the UFC or contender series and have a belt. You know, but no rush, because our time frame is a little longer than that. We're giving ourselves 2 years. This time next year, be signed to the show, be on a pathway to the show, and or have yourself a national belt.